Fourth time looking in bus. There's the bucket. I had all these Jeep parts on top of it, underneath everything. Found my coil spring compressors. I got a bunch of them. Gonna replace the struts on my 2005 Honda Civic Hybrid. Got a set of four off eBay, about 80 bucks. Got these loose. I'll get this loose. It all comes out as one unit, and then I'll take the spring off. I'm cheap. I'll have to reuse my spring. Took me an hour and a half to find my coil spring compressors. I'm loosening these big bolts here. There's two of them. I took off a brake bracket and the speed sensor bracket. It mounts on here. Right here. So the brake hose is loose, the speed sensor is loose. I'm going to tighten this up some more, get these bolts out, loosen this, then I'll have to hold the shaft underneath to get this nut off to get the coil spring, but it has to be compressed. I'll check back later. First thing I did, I took the tie rod end off. They make a tool. I should order new ones, but I'll order them later. That's the first thing I did, take the tire end off. It's called a pickle fork. It's on a wedge. You just pound it in there and it pops that up off of there. It's tight. Got the strut out. I haven't undone the top nut yet. I'll work on that next. So far it's going good. I got Oliver helping me today. Guarding the car while I'm working on the struts. Okay, I got the new strut. It was hard. He had to get a metric Allen wrench to hold the nut. I had a piece of pipe on it. I had vice grips right on the old shaft, and it was so tight it just spun because it's such a polished surface. There's the old one. Look. There's no compression. They're junk. But I'm working on it. I'll keep you posted. I had to stop and get these aligned. The long ones are like right here, 90 degree. And when that's like that, then this is parallel to where it bolts in down here on this bottom bracket. I just put my Allen wrench in here and was able to turn it where I need it. This assembly falls out like this, and sometimes the CV axle comes unloose, and I had trouble. You got to rotate the disc brake, but I got them in. So this side's almost done. Just bolt it back together and release the spring. But when I did the Corolla, I had trouble with that. The CV joint, I had to get back into that transmission shaft. Everything's bolted back together, all the brackets. All I gotta do is take the coil spring compressors off and I'm done. Wasn't too bad. It took longer to find all the tools to do it, and I knew I had them. I'll probably work on the other side. The right side is complete. I can buy new tie rod ends, Rock Auto, they're cheap. New struts, 2005 Honda Civic Hybrid. I was going to show you what tools I needed on this Honda Civic 2005 strut removal and replace. Lug wrench, take the wheel off. I got one floor jack and I put bricks under it. I don't have jack stands. Put the tire there for safety. This other hydraulic jack will go under here to hold the weight of the disc brake and front end when I take these bolts loose. It's 19 millimeters, these big bolts. I've got a box end and a socket. The little tiny bolt's 10 millimeter for the speed sensor. This one's 12 millimeter. I don't remember what that one is. It might be 17 on the tie rod end. Then you got these three up here, so a hammer to bang on nuts to get them moving. These are just a set of coil spring compressors. I've used them before on different projects. Pry bar to get stuff moving. Big hammer, get stuff moving. Pickle fork, like I said, it'll beat this apart once I get the nut and the cotter pin off. You can see there's oil. They've been leaking. They have no compression whatsoever. And I think it's ruined my ball joints down here on the A-frames, but I'll see how it goes. It's got to be better than what it was. There's the pickle fork. Just beat it and beat it. And it finally separated. Gotta take that nut off. That's how you replace a tie rod end. Or get it loose at least. Has the cotter pin. I took it off first. There you go. Set it out of the way. Got the driver's side done. All brand new. Get the tire on. It's finished. It's too late in the day to even think about starting on the back ones. I'll do that tomorrow, but I used every tool that was laying here in one capacity or another. I got bricks, 2 hydraulic jacks for safety, so the top cap fell off on this one and scattered ball bearings everywhere, but I got it put back together. They aren't that expensive, the top thing, but it wasn't broken. I just put it back together. The right strut's even worse. No compressor, bottom's out. This junk. You can see now the alignment's out. I'll have to adjust the tie rod ends. I'll just end up buying new ones, but so much for the Chinese cheap struts. It's off a little bit. I'll deal with it tomorrow. I just wanted to get it going.